Hello and welcome. It's time to hear what's on my mind on this episode of Trisha's Two Cents podcast. I'm your host, Trisha. Most of us have a favorite singer or artist. I'm not talking about worshiping another person, but you just like them all the way around, even if you never met them. Kind of like a best friend in your head. For me, that is Mary J. Blige. For those of you who may not know who she is the queen of hip-hop soul. She may not be the best singer in the world, like a Whitney Houston or a Celine Dion, but she sings from her heart and from her soul. Mary J's first album came on the scene in 1992, when I was just 20 years old. And because she's only a year older than me, she was like a best friend in my head. Because see, her songs are about real life and real situations that have always related to me. There's this one song called Be Happy, and it starts off with these lyrics. How can I love somebody else if I can't love myself enough? Enough to know when it's time to let go. The song is about loving yourself enough to let go of a relationship when you know it is not the right one for you. But think about it. How can you love someone else if you do not love yourself? How is that even possible? It is not. I struggled with loving myself for many years. I did not love the way I allowed other people's opinions to rule me. I did not love the way I allowed people to devalue me. And I did not love the way I felt when I stared at myself in the mirror. So, how can you love others correctly if you are not loving yourself correctly? You cannot. Many of us have childhood scars that are still visible in our adult life. I'm not talking about physical scars. I'm speaking of mental scars. As a child, I was teased endlessly because I was not the cutest kid after kindergarten. Remember Bugs Bunny on Looney Tunes? Well, I had his teeth, and I was reminded of that often. My mother went to work early in the mornings, which meant my hair had to be done in the easiest way possible. A part in the middle of my head and one big ponytail on each side. That hairstyle awarded me the nickname, the butt. Then, I was skinnier than olive oil on Popeye. I have been called Slim, Skinny Minnie, and Toothpick, to name a few. Those experiences caused me to have incredibly low self-esteem and made me feel that I did not live up to the standards which would grant me the privilege to be called cute, pretty, or even beautiful. So how do you get from a place of feeling not worthy to knowing you are fearfully and wonderfully made according to the Holy Bible? Well, you get there by, number one, not comparing yourself to anyone else. Number two, celebrating your uniqueness. And number three, not being held hostage by others' opinion. If our only point of view is magazines and celebrities, we would think we are supposed to be one size and perfect at all times. But the definition of an individual is a distinctive or original person. If we are all individuals, why are we always striving to be like someone else? A synonym for an individual is a rare bird. We are all rare birds. And if we are all looking the same, are we really rare at all? That is why we do not need to compare ourselves to others, because they have their flaws too. But most of the time, they are being covered up. whether it's by makeup, which there's nothing wrong with, or waist trainer, which there's nothing wrong with, but everybody's covering up something. I used to despise my gray hair because I started graying in my early 20s, and it was such a nuisance. I wanted to continue to look young. And I was thinking black hair would accomplish this. But when I finally accepted my hair and how unique it was, I loved it. Because this is who I am. And this is how God made me. I don't know why I'm graying in my 20s. And some people never gray. But this is who I am. And now this is what I'm known for. I'm known as the one with the gray hair, especially on my job. And something that I fought for so long, I fought against this so long, it has turned into my greatest joy. And it was all because I was worried about other people's opinion. Which brings me to my third point. Not being held hostage by others' opinions. Everyone has an opinion about everything, especially since the formation of social media. It does not matter what you do, someone is not going to like it. So why do we hold ourselves hostage to what another person has to say about how we look, what we wear, or even what kind of car we drive? Or even what we do for a living? When you love yourself and you are comfortable in your own skin, it does not matter if someone else does not like your style of clothing or even the new couch you thought was gorgeous and they say it's ugly. I remember when I first started wearing my hair gray and this person was making fun of me and saying I looked like an old woman. Fast forward a few years and guess who's wearing a gray wig to keep up with the times, because everybody is wearing their hair all kinds of colors. That same person. People will always have something to say about you, but you have to build up your self-esteem to the point where it does not matter what they say. Because when you love yourself enough, their opinion does not matter. I just want to remind you that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are unique and you are special. And there is only one distinct you. Love yourself enough to know it's time to love yourself. You can reach out to me on Instagram at Trisha's 2 Cents or email trishas2cents@yahoo.com. Thanks for listening. Join me on the next episode as I give life lessons through my experience, my growth, and always from my heart. Make sure you subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite listening platform.